Hello, my crafty peeps. Welcome to What the Craft. If you don't already know me, I'm Marie, an American living in Portugal. I'm addicted to crafting, and these are my quick weekly updates. So, last week, I went down the rabbit hole of buying a lot of crap on Vinted for my new craft room. Basically, I was in this frenzy of I'm going to restock my notions because when I left the US, I gave away about 90% of my craft stash. And I don't know. I should have waited until the move because now I got to pack it all up. Let me show you what I got. I would say the most expensive thing that I got was a bunch of Gutermann thread. Not so exciting. I got a bunch of different colors. I got about 20 rolls. And the reason why I did that is because I just haven't had a lot of thread here in Portugal. And every time I need to go buy some, it starts to stress me out. Like I think for Rob's hoodie, which I still haven't even made, I spent almost 30 euros on 4 spools of thread. Maybe it was only 20. Still, regardless, 4 spools of thread cost me almost 20 euros. And I just figured it would be nice to have a backstock of bigger rolls of thread. And I like Goodman. Then I would say the best or my favorite purchase was this little vintage sewing box. And it was only 5 euros, so maybe like €8 with shipping. It came with a bunch of stuff that inside, including some Velcro dots and some snaps, some rivets, which I did not have a rivet thing for, threads. But the thing that was great about this is that it came with all these bobbins. And I think that these bobbins will fit my Bernina that is in storage. Fingers crossed. If that's the case, then it was well worth the 8 euros. And I like the vintage box, of course. The other lot of stuff I got was I decided I never wanted to make bias tape again. So I did buy a lot of bias tape. I got 3 colors, and in this lot also came like little bits of other bias tape, including this cute little combo of printed bias tape. While I was there, some zippers. Zippers were also stressing me out buying them here. Like every time I would go to buy a zipper, I would just started stressing out about like getting the perfect color. Whereas before I used to have a stash of zippers and it was just fun to pick from my stash and then only go out and buy more zippers if I needed it for a project. And then came with some other things, like random things like thread and some lace. And this is kind of fun. I had some piping that's metallic. Oh, but the thing that was the funnest in this was I had never seen this. It is a prim set where it has stencils in it. So you can see the stencils. So you can basically put your name or anything on with this permanent marker. And even if the marker's dried out, it's not been opened, but I can use the stencils to write things with fabric marker, which I think is great. Then from another vendor, I got a bunch of zipper tape. I had never used the zipper tape before. So I had seen this rainbow type zipper when I was in, gosh, where was I last? Guess it was in Lyon. And I didn't buy the zipper. So then when I came across the zipper tape, I thought that would be fabulous. I just had someone in my craft group tell me how much she enjoys using the zipper tape and she won't go back to buying zippers. So I figured I'd give it a try. And then I also bought from that same vendor a bunch of zipper pulls, colorful ones, and some boring silver ones. And because I was there, I also got one of these rivet things. I think use it to put in snaps. I have not used this type before. I've only used the ones that kind of look like needle nose pliers, and I've not had great luck with them. But that was only 7 euros, so we'll see how that works. And I think that is it for my vintage stuff. My craft stash has been in storage for so long, I actually have no idea what I packed at this point. So I might have packed all my zippers. Who knows? Did get the new taco magazine, and I love the cover. The cover's gorgeous. There wasn't anything that I was really dying to make, But I did think that these pants were fun. They bring back vibes of the 90s, and I don't know, maybe I'll make them, when it's not so hot. I do think lately their styling has been a little weird in this magazine. Like, who would wear who would wear a mock turtleneck and then a bra over it? But on a positive note, I think the thing that I am interested most in is reading this article on Christine Myler. She wrote it, and I don't know if you haven't followed her on Instagram. It's pretty fabulous what she does. She basically recreates Victorian clothing, and I think she sticks to like the original patterns, which is insane. So I'm happy to read about that. The other thing I got up to this week is I started sewing something for the Sew Bold challenge. I won't tell you more about that, but I will show you the fabric that I picked. And this is a Narita Hansen fabric, which I'd gotten before. I had read about all of her craziness. I didn't buy it from her, I bought it from Lamazi. Look that up if you haven't. Besides that, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next week. And in the meantime, craft on.